Do one more on this ranking up against bots series. Try this 3K bot again, but now I'm not ranked 5K, so it's not giving me a handicap, which is just a little ridiculous. Let's just back off, see what it wants to do. Okay. It's not that big. Come from the outside. Ooh, actually, we can. Actually, we'll just take the corner. This is pretty low. Let's go ahead and approach here. Okay, that makes sense. Now, though, okay. Will it let me connect out? No. Actually, I'm going to do a slightly different variation here. This is normally kind of bad shape, and it lets black get this point here, but now I can jump all the way to here, and this is really ruining this lower side territory. Now push once. Now there's just very little down here. And now there's a lot of influence over here, so we're just going to shoulder hit this stone. Yep. Now, this would kind of be Joseki, but I want to turn here and then extend, because this really does nullify a lot of this influence. And now, I want to come up like this. Okay. Because this is just too small now. Alright. See, this still doesn't really threaten this. So I'm just going to limit this over on this side. And now, oh, that's hard. Do I just come up? Let's just come up. This is a little easygoing, but I don't really care. Go ahead. And now, yeah. Okay, that was good. They're kind of Mia. That is Gote though, which is a little slow. Just a little slow. I'm actually going to turn here. Ooh, yeah. And now, there's really not much to build in the center, but I think white can do a good job expanding this over here. Yeah. Okay. Huh. Go ahead. Or do I just Hane? Oh, I think I can get more out of this. Oh. Now we'll Atari this out. Right? That is... Whoa! And again, these bots get so aggressive when you put them in tight situations like this. Because these stones are doing a lot more for me than these stones are for black. I'm gonna come out one more. Oh, look at that. Now we're gonna come here. And here. Fair. That's really insane. I wonder if this will work for black. I kinda don't think it will, because white can double Hane here. And now come here, and it looks like white's got the situation under control. Yeah, we're just going to... We might get some territory over here. Okay. Now I kind of want to take this side as big now if I'm sure that this is dead in the center. Let's go ahead and take the side. Okay. True that. And that. See, I'm not thinking this is quite living. Here, there, there. Yeah, I think I just need to make this false. Okay. We don't need to do that. Let's go ahead and do this jump. I'm a little concerned. All right. Where's our big points? This is pretty big. But Gote. Let's just go ahead and take it. Now this... Kinda want to do something in here. Oh, this is big too. This is bigger now. Oh, did I F this up? No. Okay, pulls that guy out. This makes me feel safe. What do we need here? Turn here. let's end here. This should be pretty much over now. This I've read out already. Doesn't work. This doesn't work because timing. Oh, this has to come out like this. Here we go. Thank goodness for these two liberties. Doot, 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 doot. Alright, we'll just Atari. And we will connect. Yeah, I definitely should have used another move to just ended all the Aji in here. Okay. Well, that was a nice quick turn of affairs. Let's see. This bot held it together marginally better, but still, it's not really Fuseki-wise. See, this is questionable. I guess you don't really want white to connect either. This is kind of a special circumstance when you want to jump a little further, because this is actually costing white a lot of Aji on the outside if we go and compare to white doing this, which is still alive. Black can probably do this, 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 cuts, black has to handle it. Now white has to come back and do, well, white could extend here and then do this, I suppose. And now, you know, black really needs to do something over here to hold this stone down so that white doesn't just come out with it. And this is okay for both two. These stones have a lot of, you know, they're obviously separating black, but I didn't like black sealing off the bottom like this. I wanted to really reduce the potential territory down here, so I went for, and notice that in this variation, white still has this, the descent, or black will have to block, or, yeah, but actually in this one we'll have to block, even like this. And maybe there's something, maybe not right now, but there's something at some point. So, just different options. Really though, what I was going for with this is that once we have this shape here is strong enough for white to jump a little further. And this is really destroying the territory down here, because now black can't stop white from coming this way. So, white gains a little on the bottom, loses a little on the right. It's just one of the ways things go. And then white gets Sente, and here we see black has basically a wall that goes most of the way across the board, and this stone is low. Not really. If this stone were one line higher, it would be less to worry about. This shoulder hit and attachment would be a good reducing maneuver. Not quite so much when the stone's back here, unfortunately. So basically, seeing as black has a lot of influence right now, and white's taken territory in two corners, I feel that if we just create a strong group over here, white will have a good game, essentially. And both of these are Joseki. Usually here, white comes this way, comes like this, and we can get this shape where black takes a solid corner and white gets a influence in the center. The problem is, though, is that this group's still floating, has no base, so it could potentially come under attack at some point. And, I mean, even black could even just kind of play something like this And now this is looking really big over here. And white's not getting anything with these two moves compared to these two moves. So it might be better for white to choose a different path, which is why I turn here. Because now the Joseki move, which black plays, this was cool. For some reason this bot played reasonable openings for once. It's not the strongest bot I've played, but this one did better than some. And now white can extend on this side, which is what I want, is I want a solid group over here to mitigate this thickness. Black has an interesting idea. Well, not here. This is just kind of slow because, and actually this is really not even necessary because since black exchanged this stone for this stone, there's not much Aji here anymore. So, you know, unless white tries to activate it, I would just continue to ignore the stone and maybe, you know, do something like this. Because now you can see we're swallowing up the stone on a large scale. Black is making pretty good territory in here, and white's not really getting much up over here. And now this stone is dead, but we did it on a large scale instead of taking it specifically off the board. So you can see how this is just kind of slow and small. Like, white totally wants black to take that stone, and I actually kind of tempt black here. Like, do you want that stone? Do you want that stone? Fortunately, black doesn't just Hane and capture here, but actually jumps and attaches. But again, this is a little dubious because white gets to Hane on the outside. This would be good if white Hane is on the inside. Black could counter Hane here, and then even if white connects here, this influence is great. I mean, this isn't even territory for white because white's undercut here. So, you know, once white solidifies the position in endgame, black will come over and do this monkey jump here, which is actually really vicious in this case because there's the follow-up cut here. So white really has to be careful answering this. I think it might be possible to play something like that, because if black comes this way, yeah, this is obviously not working for white. This would be a disaster, obviously. But that just shows you how this monkey jump relates to this cut here. Makes it really wicked. So this would be a disaster for white, to exchange these stones on the inside for these stones on the outside and not get any territory for it. It's always important to see if you're exchanging stones on the inside that you do actually get territory, because the stones on the outside will be useful for the rest of the game, and the territory is just that, it's territory. You need it to win. But the closer to the beginning of the game you are, the longer the stones on the outside are going to influence things. So it's always a balance, and it depends on your style too. This is a little, here I'm backing off, because now with these stones facing the center, you know, unfortunately this black stone is kind of negating the ability of these stones to do much, but at the same time I wanted thickness to combat this big black wall. And what we're seeing right now is so far black has maybe, well, see, now that white plays this cut and capture is big, so black's only made like 4 points of territory with this wall so far, and I got 4 stones facing the center. So this is a bad exchange for black. Black is over-concentrated and still not getting any territory because this cut Atari and then come back is still there, which is really huge. The difference between black playing here and getting, say we can imagine this happening in the future. And the reason that we just come straight down when we're calculating territory like this is kind of an interesting lesson if you're learning how to count endgame, is that notice that like this move is Gote for white, and then if, you know, white plays somewhere else, this move is Gote for black. Either way, black's got this follow-up here, but the thing is that just on the first line, both of the moves are Gote, so it's a 50-50 chance that either player will get those in endgame. So what we do is we just say, okay, we'll imagine that we just come straight down, because that's kind of a fair estimation, given that we don't know which player will get that 1 point endgame move, or I guess that would be maybe 2 points, but regardless. And now we're looking at, you know, we can count this. We know that white's going to come here, black's going to have to connect. So is, and the way I count is counting pairs of 2s, because it makes captured stones easy. So I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, counting this, if I were doing it. I know there's some players estimate in counts of 5, so they'd go 1 and then 2, but, you know, I do it in pairs, because it makes captured stones really logical. So it's just 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair, 4 pair, 5 pair for the captured stone. So this is 10 points right here. And then white's territory is going back to here. So we say 5 in these points, say. Now, though, if we compare it to the alternative, and white cuts here and comes back, that comes down, and let's just imagine that this is the situation. Okay, well, of those 10 points that I counted earlier for black, now they're at 5. And then we counted these 5 for white earlier, plus 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 8 points better for white, 5 points worse for black. This is basically and now black doesn't have those pushes into white's position. So this is easily a 15-point swing here. So this is a pretty big endgame point. But the important thing to realize is it doesn't really concern the base of this group yet. Later on, it does have a little bit of impact when black gets another stone here and could possibly invade, and there's fewer and fewer places for this group to go. I think that kind of played into my timing when I played it. Here we go. This is an interesting one. I decided to play here. It's kind of me-I with this point. And maybe I should have gone here to make this group stronger, because when black comes here, it's basically Sente. If you don't know this shape where black's got a stone 1 space away from this and has already exchanged this second line move for the corner here, if white does something else now, like tries to play over here, black has a really devastating placement here. And at this point, white's best move is actually to just jump out like this and let black connect, and then maybe do something to kind of get a shape in the center. But this is really, really bad for white, because basically white had the corner at one point and is now an eyeless floating group in the middle of a ton of black stones. Like, look at all these black reinforcements. He's got stones here, got stones all the way over here. Thankfully, white has this. If black had a stone here and white had connected here, this would be totally different. But fortunately, this stone's a little bit of a ray of light for this group. But this is just really tragic. So typically what happens when black comes here is that white will not play away, but will descend here to secure the corner and the base. Also in this situation, if black tries to do it the other way to try and trick you, maybe black comes here, hoping that you'll play here, and then black can come here, and you've got to worry about this weakness. Basically, black gets both points that way, is that instead of playing in the corner here, white should make the 2-space extension on the side and give the corner to black. This is just safer and better overall for white, even though he loses the corner. That's, the price you pay when you're, haven't reinforced your group for a while. So here, this is Gote, so this is slow. Black should have left this for later, because later it might not be Gote, because here white's kind of relying on the fact that there's this clamp and this attachment and jump out, that even if it comes down to only getting one eye here, we can get another by clamping this stone, or if we've got one eye in the corner, we won't have to struggle very hard to just get a little bit of shape on the outside and make another eye, especially with all these forcing moves right around here. So it's a little slow. I turn on the outside. Just again, this now, like basically this influence is gone. So black spent you know, the first, 10 moves of the game essentially building this massive wall, and now it has no real bearing on what's happening in the game anymore. So overall, I think this is a success for white, although it doesn't seem like white is too far ahead in territory. Just a little bit. So I guess that's kind of a success. White, this isn't really territory over here, because black can come in like this, descend, and then, yeah, has to connect. But, yeah, now there's no territory over here, so we can't really count that for white. But up here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 20 on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 8 in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, and about 8 in this corner. So, yeah, about, what would that be, 20, 36 points? Black's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, just about 4 in here, because it's open kind of on both sides. So about maybe 4 points, 8 points, 4 pairs down here. Plus, like I said, this is like maybe 4 points in here. So we'll get 2 pairs here, 4 here, 6, 8. 8 and 6 is 14, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 19 pairs, which would be about 38. What was I counting? 8. Wait. So yeah, we're almost exactly tied on the board. So that's pretty good, given that white had to go second here, and this turn is really big. Now, this is, it's kind of small again, really kind of small. This gives white the impetus, and this is where I would say white takes the lead, because white's Moyo is the best prospect for making more territory on the board right now. Black stones are really low, like all of black stones over here are low, and then these stones are on Dame. Like, these stones can't make territory, there's no friends around. So given that white has this cut left over to make territory of the side, because this actually turns, and actually now that, it kind of turns this into territory too, this move is more like 20 points or so. So here we see black causes some trouble, but the thing is that this stone's not important. So in the course of this, black swallows up a stone. Well, actually, I make it a little bigger so that I can push here more strongly, and that might not have been necessary. Let's actually look. If white just... maybe this is better, because it's not like... Well, but now... Oh, that's hard. Now, does black have to go back? Yeah, black kind of has to go back. It might have been better to not play the Atari and leave the Aji. A lot of times, if you don't need to play a move, it's better not to. Let's see how this compares to the game. Okay. Black Hane is there. See, this is where this bot just gets a little overzealous. There's too many weaknesses. So here again, sacrifice 2 stones. I sacrifice 2 stones here, sacrifice 2 stones here. Because see, yeah, this Hane too is just kind of like, well, you can do that, but white's looking like now they can, and remember, alright, so black made 4 points here, plus 8 points here. It looks like black is pulling maybe 14 points better over here. So the question is, can white make more than 14 points in this? Because if they can, they're probably winning. And then this is just really, this is why this Hane was an overplay, If black had crawled one more move, I wouldn't be able to cut and reduce this like this. But on the other hand, if black extends here, white comes here. And then I think white can get more than 14 in the center now, because it's kind of hard to reduce, because even like this, white just comes back, and this is too big for black to overcome. Okay, so anyway, some forcing, and then in here, black, yeah, I guess this is kind of the do or die moment. The black has to cut and make use of this Aji to reduce this somehow, or it's just the game's not winnable. But unfortunately, black can't really live in here. Certainly not the way that they played it out. And see, this is a little rough too, because this solidifies this over here. So now this cut solidifies a lot of territory. And even this alone, even if this had lived and white gets, you know, another 7-8 points here, plus the right side, that's enough for white. So that's why I cut here, because now there's no way. You know, white, you know, even if this lives, it's still white wins on the board. So we do this, and then I get a little cocky. See, somewhere around here, I should just take a move to say, okay, there's no Aji anymore. None. Stop struggling. But regardless, 1 point jump. And now we're just kind of playing out, seeing what will happen. See, yeah, instead of this turn here, I think it's better to just either connect here or to play something like this. This might be best. Because then there's just no... Because this isn't really that scary. You know? Here, come here, come here. Come here, just come here, come here, come here. Yeah, see, there's nothing for black in here. This was all read out already. But it gets a little complicated later when black tries to push out here and do all this complicated stuff. Fortunately, white's got the liberties here, so this isn't a problem. Come down, just reduce. I wonder if there is any way, like if black plays here. Ooh, that might have worked. Is that working? Oh, just barely not. Because there's this Atari and this, and then black, if white ignores this, it becomes a ko, but white can just come like this. But see, you really don't want to have to worry about things like that. So that's why I should have played a move to remove the Aji, because, you know, with this capture, white's winning by, like, I don't know, 30, 40 points on the board, kind of hard to say, and there's just no way to come back from that. So give up a 5-point endgame move at some point to remove all this bad Aji. Because if black had started a ko somewhere, and if black knew how to fight ko, which so far these bots have been terrible at, then maybe this would have been an issue. There's a lot of ko threats to keep this group alive. And finally, the bot says, okay, I am dead. You have way more territory. I am done. Alright, well, thank you for watching that. I'm kind of getting bored of these bot games, so I think I might... Oh, and I finally lost the question mark next to my name because I was trying to record a game against a bot yesterday, and my phone kept ringing, and I just didn't... I had to resign the game or lose on time because I kept having to talk to people on the phone. It was kind of frustrating. But that happens sometimes, and I mean, you can only take your games against bots so seriously, right? It's just go anyway. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.